happens to be that Jewish law permits the enslavement of any non-Jew, white or black. That's another question which got raised. But that has nothing to do with racism. That's just a heter that we are allowed to enslave non-Jewish populations, perhaps to bring them to mitzvos, bring them to Torah and the like, but it's not a black thing for sure.
Leaders are low-life scum that screw little girls so the Jews can screw America. That's what's happening in this country. I just said it. That's what's going on in this country. And our FBI is corrupt. The Supreme Court is corrupt. The Justice Department is corrupt. The news media is corrupt. The whole country is corrupt. Because we've walked away from Almighty God and we've allowed Kabbalah practicing Jews to defile the nation. Put that video out. Go ahead and clip this video and send it out. I dare you. You won't do it because you're scared that the truth may get out to the American people. I'm had it up to here with the corruption in this country. Little children being raped for the benefit of Israel. That's all it's about, Doc. Little American children being raped for the benefit of Israel. American politicians raping little American girls to be videotaped by Israeli Mossad so that Israel can blackmail American politicians. That's the state of America today. God ought to destroy this country for what we've become.
There is basically no conflict in the world where Palantir is not the first call.
Well, I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine spraying on analysts who tried to screw us.
I had all sorts of fantasies of using drone-enabled technology to exact revenge, especially targeted in violation of all norms.
All right, a strong quarter. That might be an understatement. When we're speaking about Palantir, their first quarter where revenue topped $1 billion.
In the end, the rights you give up will be used against you.
Millions of Americans have files in government databases, their movements, purchases, and communications connected by software from a company called Palantir. And the worst part, we helped fund its creation. What exactly does Palantir do? Palantir has current and past contracts with the FBI, DHS, IRS, CDC, SEC, and the Pentagon. They process data for police departments in multiple countries, healthcare networks including the United Kingdom's National Health Services, Cleveland Clinic managing patient care across hospitals, they're in the banks processing your transactions, the factories building your cars, Tyson Foods monitoring production facilities, and Fortune 500 companies from Wendy's to General Mills. In a letter from Alex Carr, he states, "We have chosen sides, and we know that our partners value our commitment. We stand by them when it is convenient and when it is not." This is the CEO saying that they will support the government agencies regardless of what these agencies choose to do. No moral boundaries, no questions asked, even when it's not convenient, meaning when it's morally wrong. This is a company explicitly saying they'll enable any government action, seemingly no matter how authoritarian, as long as the check clears. Palantir operates in over 50 industries across at least 35 countries. Their CEO openly states their mission to become the US government's central operating system, all while fear-mongering and using war rhetoric. The same software tracking you at a protest is also identifying targets on the battlefield.
Palantir is here to disrupt and make our institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them.
To understand how one company has gained this much power, we need to go back in time. In 2002, the US government created something called Total Information Awareness. The goal, exactly what it sounds like. Total information, track everything and everyone. Every email, every purchase, every movement, document every medical record. Total information awareness sought to keep track of every American citizen, even going so far as to identify citizens based on how they walked. Americans at the time were outraged, claiming the US government was attempting to mass surveil its citizens. Congress responded to the backlash by defunding the program in 2003. Democracy worked, privacy won, and the start of a surveillance state was defeated. Or so we thought. Because in the exact same year, 2003, something curious happened. A new company was founded called Palantir. It was founded by none other than Peter Thiel, who at the time had just sold PayPal for $1.5 billion. But here's what most people don't know. At PayPal, Thiel had already built systems that tracked unusual patterns across millions of financial transactions. He had already proven that mass surveillance could work. He just needed to scale it up. Aside from Thiel, Palantir had one other early investor, the Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA. Palantir was advised by former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, former CIA Director George Tenet, and John Poindexter. Now, who is that? Well, he's the former National Security Advisor to President Reagan. He was also the man put in charge of total information awareness. When I look at the technical architecture of total information awareness and compare it to that of Palantir's Gotham software patents, they're nearly identical. In my opinion, the surveillance state was never stopped. They just privatized it. This is the power of Gotham. An analyst can type in a single name, maybe yours. Within seconds, Gotham pulls everything it knows about you from connected databases. Your driver's license, passport, criminal records, employment history, financial transactions, people you've communicated with, and even your dog's vet records. But Gotham doesn't just compile the data, it looks at behaviors, identifying your routines, relationships, and most importantly, anomalies. Change anything in your routine, the system notices and alerts analysts. Gotham was built for the United States intelligence community to track potential terrorists after 2001. The same Gotham instance tracking potential threats overseas is being deployed by local law enforcement. The Los Angeles Police Department uses it for predictive policing, the New York Police Department has used it for gang monitoring, and ICE uses it to track immigrants. The same algorithms designed for military operations are being used on civilians. Gotham operates with law enforcement in the UK, Netherlands, Germany, France, and Denmark.
You may not know it, but almost every European country in some form or another uses our CT product, counterterrorism product. We always have to sign these contracts. We can't talk in Europe about who uses our product, which is slightly annoying because I'm constantly getting yelled at by people who are protected in our product.
But tracking people was just phase one. Palantir would do something even more dangerous and lethal: automated targeting. In 2017, the Pentagon launched Project Maven with a simple goal: teach AI to identify targets, not just vehicles or buildings, but people. The system would analyze drone footage, satellite imagery, and surveillance video to autonomously detect, classify, and track human beings. Google took the initial contract, $15 million to build the prototype. But something remarkable happened. Over 3,000 Google employees signed a petition with dozens of other employees resigning in protest. Their message was clear: they didn't want to build war technology. Google withdrew from the project in 2018, but the Maven project wasn't abandoned. It just found a new home.
You have reportedly taken over Project Maven from Google, which was a very controversial program in Silicon Valley.
Well, I can't discuss the specifics of a classified program, but I can say if this were true, I'd be very proud. Military AI will determine our lives, the lives of your kid. This is a zero-sum thing. The country with the most important AI, most powerful AI, will determine the rules. This program will quite literally determine who is standing here and what they're saying in 5 years. And were we to be involved with it, I would be enormously proud.
In 1897, a New York newspaper published a map showing the Earth as a flat plane. This is a full map of the entire Earth, as it was published by the New York Journal on January 31st, 1897. This was mainstream media putting a flat Earth front and center for the public to see. Why would a respected newspaper publish this? What did they know back then that we're not being told now? It was detailed, illustrated, and printed for millions to read. And here's what's even stranger: they never retracted it. History books ignore this. Science books pretend it never happened. But the archives don't lie. In the late 1800s, there were still entire societies that rejected the globe model. Some claimed the truth was being hidden by governments and elite scientific institutions. Could this 1897 article be a glimpse into what we weren't supposed to know? Ask yourself, why was this erased from history? What else have we been told that's not the full story?
We walk in here and immediately you start barking orders at people, telling them what to do. I don't know what country you think this is. This is not Nazi Germany. You don't get to go up to grown men you've never met before and tell them how they can dress. This is America. It's a free country. We have a First Amendment right, and subsequent case law backed up 1,000 times that we can cuss and we can say whatever we want. If you don't like it, change your diaper and go find a different job. You're supposed to listen to us. We pay you. The reason we're here is because Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, Warren Sapp was arrested by your sheriff for having the nerve to speak. He was arrested for speech. And then your sheriff doubled down and said it was his fault that he dared to speak. We come in here and you double, triple down against free speech. You started crying and adjourned the meeting over free speech. You guys obviously have a problem with constitutional civil rights that you swore to preserve, protect, and defend. We drove for hours. We're serious about the Constitution. We are activists, and we got his back. And now he's suing you for $20 million. Is that going to come out of your pocket, or is it going to come out of these taxpayers' pocket? You told him to take off his hat. He said take off your tie, and you turned beet red and got all furious. You don't like being told what to do, either do we. The same respect we show you, you show to us. We have the right to speak, and we shouldn't be locked in cages like animals because your feelings got hurt. The harder you press against us, the harder we're going to press against you. This is not a game. I'm glad you came to your senses and these guys woke you up. Don't make any requests of anyone. You don't like being told what to do, we don't either. We're grown men just like you.